been a really interesting difference in culture. With open source culture, there isn't the same kind of advanced planning and scheduling of people's times and sort of priorities and goal-driven kind of development. But at the same time, it's very sort of dynamic.
You know, historically, it's no secret that Microsoft has not been a great friend to open source. So it's, you know, we know that. From a business point of view, it's clearly understandable that Microsoft needs to get engaged with the application stack. The reason why we would reciprocate that is that there's an opportunity to grow the Drupal ecosystem, so it becomes an option within traditionally, you know, Microsoft businesses. So we don't have to go to them with the proposal of, well, we've got this great solution for you, but you've got to throw away all of your investment, and we've got to migrate all of your data, and we can do that kind of thing. But you know, it seems a bit wasteful, really.
So I probably vaguely touched Microsoft Windows Server years ago, and so obviously coming to it now I was quite keen to see what's changed and whether it, you know, whether it's a viable platform for the kind of work that I do.
I haven't used Microsoft products for the last 5 years because it was very difficult to develop PHP and MySQL and open source things on a Microsoft server. So I was intrigued when I was approached by this project about how things had come on. The whole project is to integrate Microsoft technologies with the kind of goal to help smaller NGOs promote themselves more effectively.
So we've just put a set of modules together that they can just click and build. You know, it's pre-packaged, I guess, so they don't have to have a lot of special knowledge, and they can go and, you know, do what they do, go and collect money and talk to people and put, you know, pictures and stories up.
Probably the most important one was donations module, because obviously that's what most NGOs actually want to do online. They want to collect donations. It's kind of like the lifeblood of any NGO. We've been developing a lot of this with Silverlight actually, and yeah, I mean, I don't use Flash that often, maybe a couple of times a year, but I'm familiar enough with it that when I saw Silverlight, I could kind of pretty quickly understand what it was doing and, you know, where things are.
A charity's website or an NGO's website may already have a collection of photos on there from events they've run, photos of, you know, their volunteers in action or whatever. And Silverlight has some really nice visual tools to allow you to kind of browse through those. So there's a feature called Deep Zoom, which basically displays all of the images in a big mosaic kind of style, and you can fly around them, and if I get it working, you'll be able to actually sort through them. So you could say, just show me images from last year, or just show me images featuring this person, or whatever.
The things that really interested me in Silverlight were actually the things that Flash didn't do. So things like photosynth, deep zoom, the way it handles video and sort of scales the bandwidth dynamically.
I mean, I've become aware that Microsoft want to get involved with the open source community, and they want to go forward and to do more integration, and that's a great thing. I mean, particularly from my point of view, because that's, you know, that's where I'm coming from as a developer, is integration.
If Microsoft are willing to bring their brainpower and their developers to help out with the open source community, then the open source, everybody will benefit.
You know, a lot of developers like me are kind of you know, our only exposure to Microsoft for a lot of the time is just cursing IE6. That tends to give us a kind of biased image of Microsoft in some ways. But you know, if we actually look at what Microsoft is doing in open source and you know, contributions to NGOs and other things, you know, it's actually sort of a fairly good picture.